All right, shalom, Most High in Christ, bless, happy Sabbath. All praises to the Most High in Christ. Today's topic, oh man, sometimes I hate myself and the nation. Sometimes I hate myself and the nation. All right. Boy. Well, if you look at this little, picture right here, you got a lot of things going on. And the funny thing about this, you see how it's like a broken glass on it? There's a lot of representation is in this picture. But the bottom line is there's a reason why you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics whose fathers are of Negroid and Indian descent hate yourself. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. And it's driven primarily by media. It's driven by your society. It's driven by thoughts, all kind of things. But primarily, the number one reason why you hate yourself is Christianity. Christianity. See, the thing is, you don't realize how a mind state works. They have what is called a Rorschach test where they throw splatters up and put it on a cord and they show it to people. And then in your mind, you see what you see. Have you ever seen those tests? Yeah, it dictates about it. And then it's nothing on there but a splatter. But in your mind, you're perceiving it to be. You splatter something, somebody like, look like a bird. Oh, that look like a butterfly. That look like somebody's brain scattered. See how the mind start working? That look like blood all over the place. You don't realize it that your mind is dreaming and cooking up all this stuff right here. All right? I'm pretty much sure if y'all folks look at that right now, everybody going to have something that they think it looks like. You know? Take it down before some people get retarded. Please. We don't need that today. Not today. Let's open up with Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Esau show you all kind of stuff. People start dreaming and everything. You got people pulling out books talking about how to learn a person who's a psychopath and all kind of stuff, a narcissist. Had Israelites running all the books. Let me look up who's a narcissist. Shut up. You are. How about that? Ecclesiastes chapter 8. We're going to believe the Bible rather than believing what man says any day.
That's right.
Verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 1.
Come on.
Who is as the wise man?
Who is as the wise man? That's the question. The wise man is Christ. Who is as the wise man? Read.
And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing?
And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? Put in the comment boards what is the thing that we're talking about. Who know the interpretation of a thing? You want to know why some folks can't get the Bible and they can't understand God's words? See how we talking in simplicity? We'll use that. We'll use words like God, Jesus Christ, the Bible in general, the Lord. We'll use that. Because when we step outside in the war zone, the people that we're communicating to, they only know that. Who knows the interpretation of a thing? Who knows what to do in regards to this book to capture the minds back to our people? Read.
A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine.
A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. You can have a person who has a lot of wisdom and say 0 words, but he's shining. But you can have the fool who says 1,000 words and he looks like a fool. He is a fool. Especially you come outside of this book. Read.
And the boldness of his face shall be changed.
So before in the world, and I pray some of you brothers and sisters who are watching, you come out of that madness, even though last night's class put people in a toilet bowl. I mean, something so simple as Romans 11, you got so many failures. I haven't even answered not one. I'm not answering the questions because it was it was so basic and it was so simple. Let the Bible define what it is, and now all of a sudden they're mad at the Bible. You're not mad at us. It's real simple. But at the end of the day, before we were in the truth, we was as simple like that. You wasn't bold to stand up for the Bible. You never was bold to do that outside of this. Them folks that's trying to stand up, they're not standing up for the Bible. They're trying to speak against the Israelites. That's the difference. The Israelites speaking about the Bible, going to the people about the Bible. The people are speaking against the Israelites. They ain't even standing for the words of the Most High. Because you start standing for the words of the Most High, who can stand against you? You should be able to easily, if you standing for the words of the Most High, you should be able to easily defend what you believe. But they can't defend nothing. They'll never be able to defend it. All they're going to do is talk, give their own mind state rhetoric. That's it. Meanwhile, while they're doing that, we're stuck in the greatest gross darkness, as the Bible states, known to man, getting shot down, killed, and murdered in the streets every day. Come on.
Verse 2. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandments.
So here's a counsel of the Bible. He's a counsel. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandments. The king is Christ. Come on.
And that in regard of the oath of God.
And that in regards to the oath of God. So you're counseled to keep commandments, and what is the oath of God? This is where the fundamental breakdowns happen in Christianity. You don't even know that our people stood at the bottom of the mountain and said that we would do this. Because you don't know that you're a people. You're trying to group everybody in. And you have not known. And the Most High gave us a great gift in letting pieces of technology come to fruition in our time. The internet, TV, phones. People can just pull out their phone and just hit the record button, and it's going instantaneously live. That's a gift. That's a gift to you non-believers. We don't care about the internet. Brothers is on the streets, 12:30 at night, 1 o'clock, getting it in. What we care about the internet? This is a means to an end. This is a means to get the message out. That's it. Read.
Verse 3. Be not hasty.
Be what?
Be not hasty.
Come on.
To go out of his sight.
Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Remember, the Lord read it last night. He took and cast us away because of our sin. Put us out of his sight because of our sin. It said, be not hasty to do that. Don't be hasty to go away from his words. Come on.
Stand not in an evil thing.
Stand not in an evil thing. That's why some of you folks get what you deserve, because you voted the sheriff in. Now you didn't kill your cousin. Killed your uncle. You voted him in. Some of y'all folks out there voted for Trump. You voted for Obama. Everything, all of the little signs in Babylon should show you that you are standing for an evil thing. This very people you voted in, it's the same people who hate your guts. It's the same people who push an agenda to keep you barricaded in oppression. Read.
For he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him.
Come on.
Where the word of a king is, there is power.
Nah, read it again.
Where the word of a king is, there is power.
So, where the word of a king is, there's power. So, the power of this is the word to go forward and do something, to take our people from one mind state, translate their mind state to a kingdom mind. While your body and everything you're going through is physically here, your mind is on the kingdom. Do you ever realize that? Your mind's not here. Meaning your spirit is directly in regards to actually being in the kingdom. Some folks don't realize that right now. It's for another topic. Mm-hmm. You actually have a spirit that looks exactly like you that's forwarded into the kingdom. People don't even know that. Do not email us for that topic because that's for advanced people. Mm-hmm. It's for people who are really trying to keep commandments. It's not for people who are struggling with John 3:16 or struggling with Acts 15. Read.
And who may say unto him, what doest thou?
So you folks that are, like I said, online, this is a heavily video-driven class. All right, so bear with us on this one. Now, we're going to show you some clips. This should show you a lot of things. But what you're going to realize, the one thing that always took Israel and brung us to another level, it all starts with the Bible. It all starts with the Bible. So we've been promising to show you the clip over and over again. We finally got it. You've seen how Nat Turner read the Bible, activated. Denmark Vesey read the Bible, activated. Haiti read the Bible, activated. All these figures all over read the Bible, activated. Well, let's go to one more. See what happened to them.
One of the African-American revolutionaries, who Jefferson feared had been inspired by the Haitian Revolution, was Gabriel, slave of the Prosser family in Virginia's Henrico County.
Pause. Right down the street. Right down the street. Right down the street from Deacon Tawaba's. He got the sign up where he was teaching at. Right there. We in Henrico right now. We in the Devil's County right now. Put a play on.
Born in the year that Thomas Jefferson penned the nation's Declaration of Independence, by 1800, Gabriel was a giant of a man. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, Gabriel carried the muscles that came from training as a blacksmith since he was 10 years old. Because of Gabriel's smithing skills, his master hired Gabriel out to other planters and merchants. Prosser also allowed Gabriel to hire himself out on Sundays, which gave him a chance to earn money. It also allowed him to meet with slaves and disaffected free blacks. The energy of America's own revolutionary generation, the success of the slaves in Saint-Domingue in throwing off their oppressors, and the countless indignities and injuries that surrounded his life as a slave fueled in Gabriel a desire to take up arms in the name of liberty. In the summer of 1800, Gabriel and his brothers Solomon and Martin held secret meetings with groups of other slaves.
Listen up.
Writing half a century later, the abolitionist Thomas Wentworth Higginson described a meeting.
The Negro Ben Woolfolk stated that about the 1st of the preceding June, a Negro named Colonel George prevailed on him to have an interview with a certain leading man among the blacks named Gabriel. Arrived at the place of meeting, he found many persons assembled, to whom a preliminary oath was administered, that they would keep secret all which they might hear. The leaders then began, to the dismay of this witness, to allude to a plan of insurrection, which, as they stated, was already far advanced toward maturity. Presently, a man named Martin, Gabriel's brother, proposed religious services, caused the company to be duly seated, and began an impassioned exposition of Scripture, bearing upon the perilous theme. The Israelites were glowingly portrayed as a type of successful resistance to tyranny, and it was argued that now, as then, God would stretch forth his arm to save, and would strengthen 100 to overthrow 1,000.
Pause. What he quoting? Replay it again. Replay it again for him. I don't think they really heard it.
As a type of successful resistance to tyranny. And it was argued that now, as then, God would stretch forth his arm to save, and would strengthen 100 to overthrow 1,000.
Hope you folks put in the comment boards.
The book of Joshua. We ready? Chapter 23 and verse 10. Matter of fact, let me start up. Let me start at verse 9. It says here, for the Lord have driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man have been able to stand before you unto this day. One man of you shall chase 1,000. For the Lord your God, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you.
Leviticus 26. I got it. And it says, and ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. I'm at verse 7. Verse 8, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
You can't tell me they ain't believe that. That's fate right there. They activating on the words of the book. Now, when you look at Gabriel, even in the other histories of what they wrote, he was going even down to the Tidewater area, teaching that we were the Israelites and teaching our people that we had to come back to the commandments. Replay it again. So the movement always starts with this book right here.
Sure. Bearing upon the perilous theme. The Israelites were glowingly portrayed as a type of successful resistance to tyranny. And it was argued that now, as then, God would stretch forth his arm to save, and would strengthen 100 to overthrow 1,000.
Gabriel had previously purchased arms and ammunition, including guns, shot, and powder. Gabriel and his brother Solomon used their blacksmith skills to turn scythes into swords. One witness reported, after viewing the swords, I have never seen arms so murderous.
Gosh. Beastly out there, but he believed the Bible. When y'all watch this is from an excerpt from Up From Slavery. When you watch this that documentary, they begin to tell you what happened. Even when we go to the sign, Lord's will we be able to document it for y'all. But what happened is another slave ran and told, and that's where the terminology comes from. The famous terminology comes from this called Uncle Tom. So, but the uprising and everything was fueled because they understood we were the Israelites, and they were reading out of the book. They was taking excerpts just like today. People going to Deuteronomy, oh, that look like us. In their time, that's hard bondage. They was like, yo, we got to get out of this, so let's find in the book, oh, the Israelites, yeah. Oh, one can put 1,000 to flight. Let's get active. That's faith and belief. You don't think that faith is coming back to the earth? That's coming back. Go to Joel.
But this time,
This time ain't gonna be no talking about, oh, this is an insurrection. No, this is straight overthrown. Because Israelites are reading it. They're reading something again. We're gonna go to it after this. Joel chapter 3.
You want to start at verse 1?
Yep.
All right. The book of Joel. Let me make sure I get it here, because I had it.
The book of Joel, chapter 3. And we're going to start at verse 1.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I have to go to the because I had it. There we go. I knew I had it somewhere circled around. All right. The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem,
Come on.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel,
Come on.
whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
That happened. We were scattered among the nations, and they parted his land. Like when you read in parts of Ezekiel 36 and 5, they parted his land. The Edomites did it. Okay? And now this still is a prophecy that has to come to pass. Come on.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot.
Come on.
And sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
That they might drink. Come on.
Verse 4. Yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Come on.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold into the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
So to the Greeks right here is not Javin, it's the so-called white man. Because if anyone knows history, during the time that the so-called white man, he took Javin's land, took Japheth's land, he took it. All right, come on.
Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them.
Come on.
And will return your recompense upon your own head.
So the Lord going to reward them a recompense for doing so. He's going to return it upon their own heads. Why? How's that going to happen? Come on.
Verse 8. And I will sell your sons and your daughters.
So they're going to go back into the... That's why people go... The Israelites, the black Hebrew Israelites believe that, you know, they're going to take and be able to sell white people. That's all they care about. This is talking about every single nation. It's not just exclusively saying, all right, you know what, just them. Every one of them that did this. The Lord is returning their recompense on their own heads, according to Revelations 13. You reading 10, they got to go. They got to go into captivity. Come on.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians.
We didn't even want them. We just sell them off to the Sabians, Ethiopians. Come on.
To a people far off, for the Lord have spoken it.
For the Lord have spoken it. So Israelites are reading this. Go to Daniel 2. Verse 44. So they read, one shall chase 1,000. And they're in their plight, and they're activating on it. We're reading Daniel 2:44.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 44. And in the days of these kings,
In the days of these kings, these nations that's ruling, read.
shall the God of heaven
Come on.
set up a kingdom
Come on.
which shall never be destroyed.
Which shall never be destroyed. Read.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
And the people is not for other people. It's only for the Israelites. Read.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
And it shall stand forever. So now that Israel's reading this. It's the same thing. The coin is turning again. Now Israel going, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can stand, Daniel.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
The saints going to take the kingdom.
And-
Take the kingdom. How's that? How we take? We're taking the kingdom right now. You don't even realize that. Right underneath everybody's noses. In order to take a kingdom, you have to change the minds of the people first. And how could you do that if you're not imputing into the people some type of self-worth? Like, you have to understand who you are first. Then your mind starts changing. Like, wait a minute, it's royalty. I can't kill him. He's royalty. Come on. Read it from the top again.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Come on.
And possess the kingdom.
Come on.
Forever, even forever and ever.
So, as we start to look, because we're going to show you some clips, but we're going to show you the reason why you're in your mind state and you hate yourself, and how you even project that is because you're not going to the holy people. You're not going to your nation. And literally, I'm not talking about just putting up two scriptures on social media or, doing one little, excerpt of something, I ran into somebody at the grocery store. That's it. No. It's got to be true. You want true change? It's going to cost you a dance. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost things. You got to ask brothers who are really doing this. They've given up everything. They have given up things like to really be in this. That's why this is not a game. It's not playing. We're not playing. All right. Now, go to the next video. We told you it's heavily video driven real quick. The next video real quick. We're going to show you some similitudes today. Things that's happening in the world that pairs right up with our plight. Come on. Now, this video, pay attention to this. I don't know if you ever been in this
Growing
environment.
up with my dad.
Pause it. I don't know if you ever been in an environment like what they're going to show you. Some of these guys has been in just like South Central, different elements of poverty. And what they did was they took, 3 men and they took the men and they took their sons, and they're giving you an understanding of why these men, especially in the community, they never even tell their dads, or their dad ever even looks at them and say they love them. They just don't do it. Watch, play.
Me growing up with my dad wasn't too affectionate. Like, I don't think he has ever told me that he loves me, and I'm fine with that,
Nunca les he dicho mucho que los quiero, pero de que los quiero, los quiero.
Growing up, even though my father never expressed verbally how much he loved me, gave me a different mindset of when I had my own kids to make sure that I did express that to them so they do know how much I love them and how much I care for them.
How would you describe your relationship with your dad?
He's kind of someone that isn't very expressive with his emotions.
Yeah, my dad is he's a very serious person. He doesn't like to joke around at all.
No, I don't think I've ever heard my dad say I love you.
What's up, man?
What's up? What are you doing here?
That's my dad.
Alright, you guys didn't tell me.
Who's that? ¿Estás haciendo famoso?
Sí, pues.
Dad, I have a letter for you.
A letter. Alright.
Dad, growing up in a place like this is tough. We live in a place where fireworks and gunshots are just an indistinguishable noise. We can sleep through sirens and helicopters, gang members are our neighbors, and even stepping outside could be dangerous.
Pops, I wish there were enough words to express how thankful for you I am. As I continue to grow, I realize just how much of you is a part of who I am.
Papá, te quiero dar las gracias por todo tu esfuerzo y las largas horas de trabajo. Sé bien que esa lucha siempre fue pensando en tu familia.
You got through the gangs and the violence and became a stronger person and didn't stoop to the low levels of the society has created. Through all of this, you decided to have me and raise me to be better than the people around us.
I'll do something and I'll think, wow, I'm just like my dad. It was kind of annoying at first, but now I feel so lucky that we're alike. Making the decision to take on fatherhood at such a young age is one thing, but taking it on with such focus and dedication takes heart.
Quiero agradecerte por enseñarme a vivir con humildad y respeto, por aconsejarme que no hay que ser tan ambicioso, pero a la vez tener ambición y trabajar honestamente para que la familia no pase por dificultades y poder vivir bien.
I can remember you taking me to the movies when you barely had enough money. You couldn't afford to take me to Knott's or Disneyland like the other kids, but you took me to fish stores to stare at fish for hours. That became one of our best father and son activities. You showed me that even living in a place like this, you can do great things and become a great person. And that's what you're trying to show, not just me, but the community of South Central and LA. You're not only being a role model to me, but to the people of LA who can't find a lot of people to look up to around here.
No creo ser una persona ejemplar, pero creo que no andamos muy mal. Gracias a tus consejos y por guiarme por el buen camino. Mi respeto, admiración y cariño para ti.
You're done showing me what's best, so now you have to move on to the community and teach them everything you taught me by setting aside differences and helping everyone come together as a community. I love you, Dad. Thanks for everything.
Love you too, Eric. Go ahead.
I'm proud to be your son, and I'm thankful for the blessing of a father that I have. And I love you so much, Pops. Thank you, baby. I love you too. I love you.
No cabe duda que mi viejo es un viejón. Quiero mucho, papá.
I got a little emotional, like, hearing all that. I don't really hear too much positive things about me too much, but it's good to hear them. That's one of the things about being a father, like, you're never really told that you're doing a good job. You just gotta hope and pray that you are doing a good job. And I think just looking at my son, like, I'm very proud of him.
It makes you feel proud as a father because, like I said, your job as a father is to guide your children to be better people, to be better than you are.
Yo también te quiero, nomás que ha sido medio rudo para andar así.
Shut him down real quick. You don't realize, see, somebody might be ignorant right there. You don't realize certain things, what they were saying, because you're not from the environment. But if you're from the environment, you understand what's going on big time. The child or the sons that's reading, they're communicating to them because they put up there 3 different type of what they will call Latinos, and they put them up there for a reason. All right. The one type heavily influenced by gangs, heavily embedded into the community. The second type, I don't want to be Mexican or Latino at all. I want to try to make sure I blend in being white. And the third type, I think that I can be able to work with my hands and make people love me. That's what you had up there. And you see those types. If you're from that environment, you see that type over and over again. It's the same thing that's going on in the whole community of Israelites in general. And because of those mentalities, you see how they conduct themselves. Because the oppression causes you in a way to really kind of detach and even look at your kids in a different light and look at everybody in a different view. You don't see the royalty. You don't see the value is on an earthly level. Oh, that's my child. That's this and that. It's not enough. It will never be enough because of the years of being oppressed and the years of that's been embedded into a culture and a people. You will never be able to take that out unless you have something spiritual to put behind it. That's what people don't realize. So they do these little shows and you don't realize, oh, wait a minute, what they talking about? Like the kids say, you know, other kids was going to Knox. People who are from out there, you know what that is, Knoxberry Farm. That's where all the little kids would go at. And they take the families, take them there on little trips and everything. He's like, no, we couldn't do that. Something that's very simple. Very simple. All right. Pay attention. Run the next video. Now, hold on. Stop for a second. Let me say this. I have to always put out a disclaimer for people who are I'm not gonna say the word, Nathaniel. For people who are less studied, but either way it goes, we got books, and I'm not gonna read these excerpts today. I'm gonna snapshot it. We'll put it up in the video feed or whatnot. But we have certain books from the time periods of when. Just let's go with Mexico. A lot of people are very ignorant when it comes down to Mexico. They're ignorant. They only hold dear to what the Spaniards what happened right there. That's what they hold dear to. They don't realize the level of conflict that was in that land. They don't realize it. That was poured upon those people. All right. So we got some excerpts in this book titled Mexico. All right. You'll read some stuff in here. We'll put the snapshots up. You read some stuff in here. You start thinking to yourself, what? They talking about before we even got here, before the Spaniards and everything, what was the culture and what was happening over there. They were fighting other people. Let me just leave it there. Got another book, Modern Missions in Mexico. All right. You folks, if you don't realize in this book, it tells you that, you know, over there in Mexico, great misfortunes was happening until they realized that, wait a minute, for centuries we've been worshiping a white Jesus. We need to go back to who he really is. They put the picture up. We'll put it up there. They put the picture up. They showed him, okay, he's black. Strangely, they said fortunes returned. Remember Good Times? And then in this book, these are all old books. In this book, the so-called white man who you folks love to death simply went and studied these folks and said, hey, you know what? This is very strange, but the natives are of the 12 tribes of Israel. They have to be the Israelites. This book right here is the Mississippi. It's Mississippi and its tributaries. You good luck with finding these books because these now are rarities. You might can pull a PDF. I don't know. But either way it goes, I'll put the screenshots up. Now, I made a comment. Go to Hosea chapter 14. It's why it's on my mind. Let's go to the book of Hosea. See something here. Verse 1. Yep.
The book of Hosea, chapter 14 and verse 1. O Israel.
Now in Hosea, this is a strange anomaly that always happens with people don't understand. Yes, it's talking about the whole nation at this point that we're in, but at this time it's talking about the northern kingdom. The northern kingdom of Israel. O Israel. They're tucked away off into madness. Read.
Return unto the Lord thy God.
The Lord calling out to him. Return unto the Lord thy God. Read.
For thou hast fallen by thine iniquity.
For thou hast fallen by thine iniquity. The sins that was being done, unimaginable, the Most High seized them into captivity. Come on.
Verse 2. Take with you words and turn to the Lord.
Take with you words and turn to the Lord. So you know, who you call yourself, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Mexicans, whatever you want to call yourself, you better take these words and be serious and return back to the Lord, man. These folks hate your guts, and they're shooting and killing and running you over left and right. They play leapfrog with you on the California highways. They got signs like for deers, but it's a family crossing. I've seen it with my own eyes. Riding on the highway, I've seen it with my own eyes. So I'm not saying stuff that we've seen pictures for. I've seen it. They have, like you have, watch out for deers on the highways there. You have family, you know, father, mother, and two little kids or a kid running across the highway. They're like, watch out for them. You don't think something's wrong with that? Read.
The book of Hosea, chapter 14, and verse 2. Take with you words and turn to the Lord.
Come on.
And say unto him, take away all iniquity.
Come on.
And receive us graciously.
And receive us graciously. Under grace. Come on.
So will we render the calves of our lips.
Come on. Assyria, come on.
Shall not save us.
Meaning America. So you got a similitude. We always, Lord's will, we get this similitude class done so we can show you. Babylon the Great. Egypt, spiritual Egypt. Assyria, the Chaldeans. The Bible uses these nations to parallel similitudes of today. So just like you have the ancient times, they lead up to today. Like Assyria is really like America as well. Come on.
Assure shall not save us.
The America can't save you. Just like the Assyrians couldn't save them. Read.
We will not ride upon horses.
You ain't going to live your good life on this. You ain't talking about, if you are a Hispanic native and you talking about you living your best life, you crazy. Read.
Neither will we say any more to the work of our hands.
Neither will we say any more to the work of our hands. Read.
Ye are our gods.
That's why I made this comment when they showed you one guy. It looked like he was the hardest worker on the planet. But it's embedded in some of them to go, you know what? I'm going to work and that's going to pay off for my family. No. You better make sure your family understanding scriptures and return it back to the words. You want them safe? Return back to keeping the commandments in Christ as Israelites. You children of the slaves. You natives. Come on.
For in thee the fatherless findeth mercy.
For in thee the fatherless findeth mercy. Not with America, not Trump. Trump ain't showing you no mercy. Then you got these idiots that supposedly know the truth that comes in and they spawn nothing but envy and chaos, consistently going back and forth. I've seen it back and forth. They got so much hate. You know what? The Mexicans are not Israelites. That show you right there that you failed because you shouldn't even be calling them Mexicans. Then you got on the flip side, you got people on that side going, you know what, the Negroes, you're not Israelite. Everybody in their own plight. Everybody is oppressed at the highest level, been taken on slave ships, nation wiped out, bled in and out, everything else. And you got these idiots. They're done. They're done. Push them aside. Stop dealing with them. Just stop. Let them float off into the distance somewhere. Make sure you're reading this book and understanding this book is to the captives. It's for those who have been in captivity, who are oppressed on the highest level. And if you can show me any other people that have been oppressed on the highest level of human existence, then best of luck to you. You're not going to look no further than you so-called black and Hispanic natives, man. Read.
Verse 4, I will heal their backsliding.
The Lord can heal the backsliding. Come on.
I will love them freely.
I will love them freely. Come on.
For mine anger is turned away from him.
You hear that? So now you have a shot. You have the grace. You have a shot. Come back to following the commandments in Christ. You have one shot. You cannot follow Catholicism because that's what they pushed on them. It's failing miserably. Go to the next clip.
Miguel was a teenager when he arrived from Mexico, but after 12 years, he's still undocumented. He lives with his wife and 2 daughters in the suburbs of Los Angeles, but an incident earlier this year came as a major shock. He works in construction and was denied entry to a residence because of his appearance. He recorded it all.
I work in construction, and I guess this lady, because she also lives here, she says that we're not allowed to come here. She's been a little racist with us because we're Mexicans.
This was an attack completely against my persona. She's blocking the entrance. I'm like, we had the permit to be here. So that is like, no, you guys are gonna steal something from here, I'm pretty sure.
And the confrontation ended with assault.
Get out of my face, yes!
They attacked me, they throw coffee on me because we're trying to work in this place.
Miguel believes this was a hate crime, and they are on the rise in LA County.
No, you think?
Particularly against Latinos and African Americans.
Stop.
That's according.
Did you hear what they just said? That's the problem with, we have a, get them out of here, please. Just take them off. The problem that we're having, we're not coming together as a people. And they're doing it purposely. They're purposely saying, you stay here, you stay there. But yet, when you look at the level of crime that's happening against us, it's unilaterally across the board, the same things is happening. They don't realize they're not putting 2 and 2 together yet. That's because they still underneath the mind state, let's all hug each other. He's underneath that mind state. Came to America, trying to live the American dream, and the first thing you want to do is go ahead on and grab the little so-called white woman. That's like everybody's kryptonite right there. Yeah, they just go and grab her. She might off him for insurance money. Anything might happen. But then you start to go through strange calamities and don't realize what's going on. The Most High is plaguing you. Give me another video. I'm not answering no emails for somebody who be like, why are you showing Mexicans? We're going to block them. Block service. Come on.
De hecho, cuando era pequeña, yo solía pintarme con cal para decirle a mi mamá que quería estar blanca. Y de hecho, también siempre había querido ser blanca, pero actualmente pues me di cuenta que la piel morena es bonita y sobre...
Rewind and let me read it. Somebody might not even be able to read. Let's read it for him. I always wanted to be. Rewind it a bit. When I was little, I used to paint myself with lime powder. I can see it. With lime powder. You think she's just communicating? She's not the only one that believes this and felt like this. When I was little, I used to paint myself with lime powder. Come on. To show my mom that I wanted to be white. I always wanted to be white until I realized that brown skin, come on,
Me di cuenta que la piel morena es bonita.
is beautiful. And that people are pretty in their own color. See how Christianity, Catholicism. But it's going to always feel when you look in that color. You're supposed to really understand nationality. Watch this.
Y sobre todo que, sí, hay personas que se ven bien incluso con su color.
Now they're going to stop. They done got them another byword, Afro-Mexicans. Gosh, you can't escape. Afro-Mexicans are fighting to save their identity. Boy, that's going to have to be a topic. Keep going.
Como los españoles
In Afro, yeah, isn't Afro a hairstyle? Since the Spanish enslaved our country, matter of fact, go ahead, keep playing.
Avisaron a nuestro país, pensaron que los negros deberíamos seguir siendo esclavos, que los negros somos feos, que los negros somos malos, que los negros, etcétera, un montón de
Yeah, we black people are ugly and bad. Twerking in Catholicism.
Entonces, si nosotros como cultura, como etnia, no existimos, obvio que tampoco el gobierno tiene una responsabilidad presupuestal y eso es lo que queremos, ¿verdad?
Me parece bien que estén fomentando eso a los jóvenes porque pues desafortunadamente vamos perdiendo nuestras tradiciones y no sabemos de dónde venimos.
Lo que falta más educación, más cultura afro, darle a
There you
conocer
go.
los,
Stop right there. He said what's missing is education. I'm gonna read this. Get him out of here. There's education that's missing. They just don't know who they are. But in this book that I told y'all about Mexico, it's an excerpt in here on page 77 and 78. I'm going to read it. It says, Cortez, folks should know who that is. Yep, Spaniard. Became the first governor of Mexico, acquired vast estates, were created in the Marquez of the Valley of Esca and subjugated the rest of Mexico. Many of his followers found wives among Aztec women of noble birth. Warlike enough, before the Spaniards came, the Aztecs' masses seem to have been subdued at one blow and were soon reduced to the position of mere slaves. The Spanish priests, too, having gained a great influence over natives, taught them to obey those whom God had sent to conquer their country. They taught them to obey those who God had sent to conquer their country. You see, they like God told us we can conquer your country, and they believed it. I'm not reading. Other parts talk about bribery, they forced religion, they corrupted people on every level, and basically changed their spirits. It's depressing because these folks don't even really care about what happened to the history. Go to the next clip.
People of African descent go back hundreds of years in Mexico, but as a group, Afro-Mexicans are largely invisible. A 2015 census is changing that. CCTV's Frank Contreras has insight from Mexico's southern state of Oaxaca.
Among Afro-Mexican communities here on the Pacific coast of Mexico's Oaxaca state, this dance is symbolic. Locals say the devils represent the growing power of African descendants in this part of Latin America. It's a history that's beginning to gain global attention.
The presence of Africa here in Oaxaca state is one of the lesser known aspects of the vast cultural diversity in this region, one of the most culturally diverse in all of Latin America.
Last year, for the first time, the government conducted an interim census asking Mexicans, based on your culture, history, and traditions, do you consider yourself black, meaning Afro-Mexican or Afro-descendant? And nearly 1.4 million people responded, yes.
Stop. So, yeah, see, this is where the influence of propaganda and everything comes in at. Because they're trying to say, oh, that was because of the slaves was brought there. But how come the Spaniards came over there before that? Before that. So this is where the propaganda starts and people break down and don't understand. That's Mexico, but that happened all throughout the Americas, period. And the only stronghold was for as what Israel had was the Caribbeans, all right? That's why I forgot who he was talking to. When you start looking at like places like Barbados, they got some of the oldest records. And when they went over there, they found it's actually a record. They found, oh, they ran into Israelites. Oh, this is it. People were saying that they were Israelites. And so they dubbed it the term Barbados because Barbados mean the bearded ones, the bearded sons. Okay? So they dubbed that there. Them people is not slick, man. Even when you read in Columbus logs, he tell you he brung, people who can speak Hebrew. It's not. People wasn't as simple as it is now. It's like people going backwards because you rely on third and fourth party information of people who don't know nothing. Folks hate your guts, and it reminds me of, go to Genesis, show you why you hate yourself, because others hate you and that spirit rub off on you to where you hate your people too. Because others hate you. Go to Genesis 26. Start at verse 15.
Genesis chapter 26 and verse 15. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth.
Come on.
And Amalek said unto Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strode with him.
Write this down. Esek means contention. Read on. It means contention.
Verse 21. And they digged another well, and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah.
Sitnah, which means strife. Write that down. Come on.
And he removed from thence and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth.
Rehoboth. Rehoboth. Wide place. A wide place. You got contention and strife in a wide place. Read.
And he said, for now the Lord had made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
Come on.
And he went up from thence to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father.
Come on.
Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake.
Come on.
And he built an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants digged a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahazath, one of his friends, and Philcol, the chief captain of his army.
So these people who at one point is looking at Isaac, now they're coming to him, right? Watch what Isaac say. Come on.
Verse 27. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to me?
Why you come to me? Come on.
Seeing ye hate me.
Seeing ye hate me. Now they just showed you that he was more mighty. So that's the whole thing. Remember, the children of Israel, even with Egypt, they're more mighty. They're gaining strength. People hate that about this nation. We don't know we're mighty. Read it again.
The book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 27. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you?
Now watch this, y'all. Come on.
And they said, we saw certainly that the Lord was with thee.
We see the Lord is with you. Oh, that's why you, okay. We see the Lord is with you. Okay, come on.
And we said, let there be now an oath between us, even betwixt us and thee.
Always want to make a deal.
And let us make a covenant with thee.
Always want to make a deal. Always want to make a deal. What's going to happen when the Israelites say no deal? You got a problem. We say no deal. Shut your economy down. No deal. We not buying on your Black Fridays. We ain't buying on your Christmas, your Thanksgiving, your Halloweens, your New Year's Eves, and all that other stuff. We ain't participating in the Easters. And no deal. We ain't dealing with anything. What's going to happen then? We don't have self-worth enough to understand, hey, these people keep killing us and hurting us. Let's shut this down. Even in you can play good cop, bad cop all you want. But even MLK had enough sense to be like, you know what? We got to do something.
Yep. I mean, he pulled the bus. he pulled the bus boycott, and that was a snippet of the power that it showed that we had. Go ahead.
When he finally realized, like he said, Harry Belafonte, he's afraid they has integrate his people to a burning house. What he told the people, he said they was going to start boycotting all their major corporations, take all your money from their insurance company. He even gave them the names of black insurance companies. Mm-hmm. So he was fully about to turn straight away from Esau and deal with his people. That's when he became a threat. People don't understand that. That's when he really became a threat. Because why is you a threat? Is you trying to hold hands with them? You're not a real threat to them. But once you start tapping into their money line and getting our people together, you're a major threat then. And that's when they really came up with that Black Messiah program. Mm-hmm. So we can say what we want about MLK. Yes, what he initially did hurt us, but he was trying at the end. So may the Most High have mercy on him.
Right. He was trying to do something at the end. And this is go right back. We go to 2 Samuel. Now you drop it. Go to 2 Samuel. Chapter 1, verse 18.
2 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 18. Also, he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher.
Come on. The book of Joshua is just the book of Moses. Come on.
Verse 19.
Always put a disclaimer out there. Come on.
The beauty of Israel is slain.
But here's the point. When MLK started that, or you look at any one of our people who start looking at it and going, we got to be for us, that's so beautiful for us. But then all of a sudden, that beauty is what?
Is slain upon the high places.
Upon the high places. These governments, these different high power officials, they look at it, they go, oh no, we got to shut that down. We're going to stop making money. We ain't going to have the right consumers to be able to, we ain't going to have them as consumers to live right.
Let me just say this. Anybody that's familiar with the whole Jay-Z thing that was going on with that situation, it's showing you how even with him, he sold out, basically. He was supposedly supposed to be for the people, supposed to be for the man, Colin Kaepernick, who basically was kneeling for police brutality. Now he's flip-flops because they offer him part ownership of a team. So the same thing with economics. They know how to use economics to sway your thinking. Whatever you have a covetous spirit, they know exactly how to sway that. So now all of a sudden he's speaking a different tune now. So it's showing you what is happening is the same thing. When you mess with this man's economics, because he started realizing with the economics with the league, they're not watching the league because they're protesting. So what do? We take somebody who's hot. Somebody who's hot, who is well known. They use a black face to do what? To take our people off the real issues. That's exactly what they always do.
Read that part again.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 18. It says here, also he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher, the beauty of Israel is slain upon the high places. How are the mighty fallen?
How are the mighty fallen? So you got to think about this. Whenever the beauty of Israel for us is to come together underneath the laws of the Most High through Christ, get ourselves together as a nation of people to have our own. Why are we not doing that? The more we go around that is the more that we have self-hate. It's going to keep happening. All right? Give me the other clip.
Major outrage this morning after a behavioral therapist was shot by an officer after he held his hands in the air, lying on the ground, his patient with autism sitting right nearby. ABC's Gio Benitez has more on this story. Good morning to you, Gio.
Amy, good morning to you. That new video taking social media by storm overnight. The unarmed black behavioral therapist shot by police on the streets of Miami. And police say it all started when they got a call about a man threatening suicide. Watch, just moments before the shooting, you can see 47-year-old Charles Kinsey, his hands raised in the air. The video released overnight by his lawyer. Kinsey in the yellow shirt works at an assisted living facility. And the man at his feet is a 23-year-old with autism who ran away from the group home. Listen as Kinsey talks to police. Kinsey even tries to calm the young man with autism.
Aldo freaking out because his spirit jacked up.
At some point, one of the officers shoots Kinsey, but he survives and speaks with Fox station WSVN from his hospital bed, recounting what he told that officer.
And I'm telling him again, sir, it's no need for a firearm. I'm unarmed. He's an artistic guy. He had a toy truck in his hand. When he hit me, I'm like, I still got my hands in the air. I said, no, I just got shot. And I'm standing there, I'm like, sir, why did you shoot me? And his words to me, he said, I don't know.
Stop.
Video of the act.
Yo. If you don't realize the Most High is just constantly, there's half things happening, and you don't realize, he's like, I don't know. I don't even know why I shot you. This man on the ground holding his hand up.
But here's the thing, though. I'm bringing it back to the football player. He kneeling for something like that. That's a social issue. When people understand, people have to understand something. You look at this. This man, if that wasn't on camera, how would we have known about that?
Boy, I tell you the truth. And you have these type of instances, we still worried about other folks. We still worried about other people. Go to the comment boards. Just give me a screenshot. Go live to our comment boards. I got to put somebody out there today. That's sad. You got instances like this, and we're telling our people, hey, man, we got to come together. We got to make sure that we're taking care of our communities and everything else. And you still have the same instances going on over and over again with people asking these type of questions. We're going to put them out there. What's his name, Robert? Scroll up. Let me see if it scroll up in him. You might have to zoom in on him, too. Yeah. Scroll down. It might be at the top. Go way up. Go way up. Just go right. Just go all the way up. Yeah. Zoom in on that person. Yeah, scroll over so they can see it. Can they see this? Okay, that's fine. Go to his question. Go up. Yeah, right there. That's what I want right there. Robert Anderson, you have an epic failure. Mr. Anderson. Why do you do it? Yeah, you and your friend Andrew Hooper. Yeah, you have an epic fail. And here's why you have a failure, sir. We're communicating why do we have hate for ourselves and our nation. And you, sir, are the epitome of that. We're not even talking about this. And here we go again with the questions. So is everybody an Edomite? This show you the highest level of Stockholm syndrome that you ever could have. Why is he asking this? We're showing you how our people are having ill will in their minds, even in communicating love to their own children and everything else. And here we go, Mr. Anderson. Is everybody Edomites? What was his next silly little question that he done asked? Let me see what he done said. So somebody said, that's the nationality of the so-called white man. Teray told him that. He said, strange. Like he don't know nothing. No, he be on, if you go to his page, you see him talking about he want to battle Hebrew Israelites. That's how you know. The first sign of you know somebody don't know nothing is when they say black Hebrew Israelites. That's when you know just throw him to the garbage can. He don't really know much. Then what else he said? And now he asking who was Herod. Then who's Agrippa? He's asking these questions. He on a whole different scheme. Sir, we invite you to Friday night.
And we done dealt with this so many times. See, these guys, they don't understand. We've been to seminary. We took seminary courses. We have discussed with theologians, scholars. These are easy questions. The thing is, he going to want to know, so why were they over the Jews and things of that nature? We got you. Very easy. Guarantee you're going to have to pick your study up, though.
Yeah, you better. Friday night, 10:30.
But here's what's sad about it. This is a whole different topic.
Right.
Why is he even bringing it? I mean, here we dealing with some issues dealing with our people directly. This man has a nerve talking about something that's totally off topic. It's foolishness.
And we don't say black Hebrew Israelite. We actually hate that term.
Exactly.
We hate because there's no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite. It's the Israelites, period. So we don't use nothing. Show us any video that we say we are the black Hebrew Israelites. Now, because you just bear false witness as an elder or pastor. You bear false witness. You said you used to say black Hebrew Israelites. When? Produce it. Produce it.
Produce it.
Well, what you have is, Mr. Anderson, you have an epic failure. You are the person that has failed today because we are discussing the plight of our people. And only thing you care about is worrying about the so-called white man.
Exactly.
Worrying about the so-called white man.
So are you coming on Friday or not?
Yeah,
You're talking. We give you the invite. Have a respectful dialogue. Friday night, 10:30. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
We don't do a lot of talking. Just come on and we can discuss this. We don't got to go back and forth over Facebook or message whatever this is. Let's do it like men, face to face, live. Plain and simple. Yay or nay. Put your answer in the comment board.
Lamentation chapter 2.
Let's proceed.
Lamentation chapter 2. But you say it. But you say it. That's just show you he don't really even know who he's dealing with. See, a lot of times what happened with these guys, they go to defunct Israelites that really somehow just magically started studying or maybe studied 3 or 4 years or whatever, and then they go to them and they pick them for information, and the guys are doing the best that they can. I'm not knocking what brothers may be doing, but the point is now when it comes time for to really step up, Mr. Anderson, we're going to see if you're going to really step up. If you're not going to step up, then just go scurry along with it, whatever madness you're in. I guarantee you.
Now you got pride. He give us the invite. Listen, we don't play that prideful stuff. We in Christ. Ain't no pride over here. Now he give us the invite. See, that's when you got our people think they better than us.
Right.
We know those spirits. See, when you say black Hebrew Israelite, you're dealing with a whole different monster when you come this way. A whole different monster when you come this way. Believe that. So, you come on this form. You ask the question, come on this form. We reject your invitation. You came to us, so come on this form.
Boy, I tell you the truth.
I tell you, boy,
2:14.
Have a nerve, bro. Amazing. The book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee.
Come on.
And they have not discovered thine iniquity.
They have not discovered thine iniquity. That's what he's getting conked on his head with now. He called himself a pastor, a man of the Lord. You're not. What's the iniquity of our people? Why are our people the ones being shot down, killed in the streets? Who are they biblically? Did God name them? You got a problem with yourself. That's self-hate. Yep. You're seeing self-hate. He ain't on the so-called white man's channel right now.
Nope.
The so-called white man gonna spew every whim of rhetoric he had. The so-called white man, Mr. Anderson, is shooting and killing folks in the name of Christ. Are you on their platform telling them that they're wrong? No, you're not. You have self-hate. Read.
To turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens.
False burdens. False burdens. Come on.
And causes of banishment.
Come on.
All that pass by clap their hands at thee.
Come on.
They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem.
And they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. They look at us and go, that's a shame. How come you got videos of the media showing our people lying dead on the streets all day, every day? Come on.
Saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty?
So beforehand in Samuel, he's saying the beauty of Israel is slain upon the high places. Now he's showing you, is this the city that people call the perfection of beauty? Is this what God's people really look like? It's a shame. Come on.
The joy of the whole earth, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. When you look at the plight of our people historically, we've been in captivity after captivity. But yet you got a person like this that will come on and spew out poisonous rhetoric. The Edomites, You ask, I bet you any money. He come on the show, we're going to ask you, how did we come to the conclusion of Edomites?
Yep.
So tell the people the truth. You called before and got biblically checked? I don't know. I don't even know what he's even talking about. I don't know.
Who is this dude, man?
Captain Stockholm.
Okay.
Let's read again.
Okay. The book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 16. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
Please produce evidence if you say I called your show or whatever it is and got biblically checked. Please put it out there, because at the end of the day, I would like to see that.
He said he met with some of our adherents in Detroit. Well, you ain't meet with us.
No.
if you even met with some of our adherents in Detroit, you ain't meet with us yet.
No.
And I think you got the wrong group.
Right.
Honestly speaking. We got
Right.
a couple brothers out there, and I think you got the wrong group.
Right.
This is a mistake that I love to always say to the ignorance. When you are wanting to put your chest out, and you like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I went to you put ISOC up there. Yeah, you know what? I crushed ISOC. Please come up to the juggernaut. Come up to the high. Don't say you fought Tyson's sparring partner. Don't do that. That's not going to work. Come all the way up and then be like, oh, you know what? Then, okay, I dealt with y'all.
So again, we're asking them to come off. If you're not going to come off, we're just going to block you off the comment board.
Right.
Ain't no need to keep writing comments, and that's girly stuff. Who does that? We gave you the invitation. If you reject it, move on. That's how men do it. If men going to battle, they're going to battle. Ain't come over here, come over there. We just told you to come on Friday night. If you reject, say you reject, and then move on.
Right. That's it.
That's it. Move on. Don't be a girl about it.
Say you
Don't be
nervous and
girly,
scared.
man. You ain't dealing with little weak church so-called Christian boys, man.
Just say you scared and just move on. Just the end.
Right.
Read it again for him.
Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 16. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
That's for our people. And you still going back and forth talking about, you know what, Edomite, Herod, who's Agrippa. You're trying to go to these simple little topics that you think you got some point on it. We already know what you really trying to say right there. But at the end of the day, you have to realize we are not even on that subject.
Right.
But you have been so eloquently inserted into the class to show Stockholm Syndrome now. Now you are a part of this topic. You really hate yourself.
Right.
Read.
They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up.
Come on.
Certainly, this is the day that we looked for.
Now go to Proverbs 20 and 29, because this is the sad thing about this, y'all. Our older men, because this is an older man. Our older men, you have that you folks that are in, you older church-going brothers, let's use them. Degree from Esau. Yeah, a degree from Esau. You have legitly failed. You have a failure. You have let down your people, because shouldn't it be that the older men, you look to them and you go, you know what? I'd rather respect him at the highest level. He got so much wisdom and so much knowledge to show us how to be, to navigate through this.
Even Eleazar was 90 years old. Check him out in the Bible. Eleazar was an older man who said, to hell with that. I am not going to sell my people out.
Right.
That's a man of God that stood for principles. Let's find out if he's going to stand for principles. Look Eleazar up if you don't know who he is.
He probably think you talking about an Edomite baker. Or
Right,
something.
exactly. You want Proverbs
20:29.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 29. The glory of young men is their strength.
So the glory of a young man is their strength, definitely. Read.
And the beauty of old men is the gray head.
And the beauty of the of an old man is their gray head. Meaning it should show forth wisdom and knowledge. But not doing this, you're not showing nothing. You worried about Edomites.
Right.
It's very sad.
Okay. Back to Lamentations.
Yep.
Okay. Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
Come on.
They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it.
So that's another thing that our men have to remove out of their spirits. You think we're mad.
Stop playing games. He said we're mad because you got called out. We're saying come on and let's discuss it then. We're saying this is not the time. We wasted enough time with him already. We're saying this is not the time. If you want to genuinely ask questions, come on live. Everybody heard us. You're the one playing games.
Right.
You're the one playing games. You know what? Block them. Block them.
Answer a fool not according to his folly. Because at the end of the day, that's being foolish. I mean, here we hitting something serious here, and this man's playing games. It just shows you the maturity level. I mean, this is serious right here. We haven't even talking about no Edomites. We're talking about the plight of our people, what's going on, and you sitting there playing. This is nothing to play with.
Psalms 122 and verse 6. It just goes to show you we watching the comment boards. If you put something crazy in there, we will come at you.
Exactly. This book of Psalms, chapter 122 and verse 6. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Did it say pray for the Edomites?
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the Israelites to make peace back with the Most High. Come on.
They shall prosper that love thee.
They shall prosper that love thee. So if you understand to come back to who you are, the Lord can then also start making that the lead prosperity doctrine is for you to get the kingdom and rule over everything. How come they ain't teaching you that? Haggai 2. Haggai chapter 2 and verse 9. This is what our people are not realizing the hate that's within. It goes real deeper than what you can ever imagine. Verse 9.
Haggai chapter 2 and verse 9.
Come on.
The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former.
Come on.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
The glory of the latter house is going to be greater than the former. The Lord got all the diversities in the nation. And now the Spirit of Christ. So it should be definitely greater. Come on.
And in this place.
And in this place, read.
Will I give peace.
Will I give peace. Is it peace right now? Come on.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the what?
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the Lord of hosts. Come on to another video. Another video. Watch this, y'all. You think you ladies is exempt? The military hates you too. Come on.
Issues with my airmen and my NCOs that are lower ranking with me, but they're black females. And
Black
it pisses me
females.
the off that they have no respect and constantly having an attitude. And what the is up with that? Like, I'm trying my best to hold my professionalism with them. But good God, they have no respect whatsoever.
Stop. Somebody might not realize what's going on. Okay, so she's in an authoritative position in the military. She's angry at the black women in the military because she's saying that they have no respect. They don't respect her at all, which shows you a little bit where she's detached at, because they don't understand the plight of our people. This is why you have to get together as a nation. The nation will understand what's going on. You don't know what's happening to those women. You don't know what's going on back home. You don't know what they have to do. You don't know what they have to take care of. But at the end of the day, she's going, oh, I can't stand them because they don't respect me. That goes to show you, folks, we got a lot of folks in the organization that's, in the militaries, and they'll tell you the same thing. All right? To try to be better than who you are, is nothing wrong with that. It can't come at the risk of you sacrificing your integrity for your people. It can't. The minute you do, then all this type of stuff. This goes to show you the mentality behind it. Then people can say, oh, I'm outraged and all this other stuff. It don't make no difference. Run me the other clip. Before you run that clip, though, please show me show me Mr. Anderson's comment, please. Show me him on the comment board. Yeah, I know. Yes, yeah, show it to me. You've been blocked. You've been blocked, Robert Anderson. Sorry that you have had this experience. Yeah, he's Matumbo. Remove him out of there. Now go to another video. We're done with him. Lying and everything. Man. Watch this.
I'm Tori, and I'm proud to be black and Latino in America. I grew up being embraced by African Americans and then being treated like low man on the totem pole by a lot, not all, Puerto Ricans. And it did nudge me in the direction of identifying with black and being black more than being Puerto Rican.
My name is Raquel Casilla Reynoso, and I'm proud to be an Afro-Latina. Those within the Afro-Latino community are trying...
Man, pause. You see how who gave that terminology? Not everybody just run with it. Last I thought it was Afro was a hairstyle. Gosh. Come on.
To identify what that is. Although some say, oh, we know what that is immediately. The reality is it's so diverse.
My name is Gesnet Josue Perea, and I am proud to be a co-founder of the only Afro-Colombian organization in New York City. I identify myself as Afro-Colombian.
Now you have, first it was Mexican, Afro-Latino, now you got Afro-Colombia. You folks better realize the hate is real. Run it.
Meaning I am a Colombian of African descent.
My own father, who is dark-skinned, I would consider him a black Dominican. He would tell me growing up never to bring home a date or a friend who was black.
When I was going out with an
You see it? You see the hate. Then they say, well, he's a black Dominican. Everybody's all over the place. This is complete, utter madness. That's why the Bible structures things off.
But you see how when Esau puts his seed and what he does his ideology to our people, You see how confusion then fell in? It's the same thing. And when you go for all these different bywords. If you notice something now, all 12 tribes of Israel, you think about it for a second. You got us dealing with the English. You have the Haitians dealing with the French. You have them dealing with the Spaniards. You have all them, and all of it is
British,
Esau.
Yep.
All of it is dealing with Esau. Every level is dealing with Esau. Like you said, the British West Indies. Why do you think they called the British West Indies? Because who did that? So you're dealing with that. You're dealing with that mentality. It's showing you how it's still affecting our people today. Daniel 9:11. That's what people don't understand. When we go to Daniel, did you still deal with Haggai? Drop it. I'm gonna go. When you go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. It says, "Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him."
So because of the sin, this is what's happened. Jump up to verse 8.
Verse 8. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face.
Because we have sinned, now to us belong confusion of face. Everybody thinking they different things. Confusion of face. Come on.
To our kings.
Come on.
To our princes.
Come on.
And to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee.
Because we was in the midst of sin. That sin also goes into mixing with, taking a man going, you know what, I'm going to go ahead on and pick up an Edomite woman. Now you're having children and everything. Yes. You're supposed to have been directly exclusive with your nation. Now you are who your father is, because please do not stop emailing that. There's no such thing as a person being mixed as a nationality. You are who your father is. If your father is of the slaves, you're an Israelite. If your father matched these curses in this book, you're an Israelite. Please do not email us. Stop responding to all those, because it's so many times that you can only say something over and over again, then show it in the scriptures. Seed of the father, seed of the father, seed of the father, seed of the father. Well, but what about if your grandfather's father was black, but then there was white, and mad confusion. The Bible says the Spirit itself is going to bear witness. Do you understand that your people was in the midst of these curses that God said would happen exclusively to the Israelites? You don't see him saying that would happen to the Moabites, not going to happen to Ishmaelites, not going to happen to the Edomites. He exclusively said the Israelites. Because only you I've known, therefore these curses I'm going to bring upon you, because you're alone of the people that I have known. The end. Go back to the video. So we have confusion of faces. The greatest thing known to man and the most precious thing is Christ. Christ give you an opportunity for the Israelites to repent no matter what has happened in your past, the old things. The Lord allows those to pass away. And behold, all things become new. Now you understand. And let me say this for you folks who have parents that are of the other nation, meaning mothers, because that's all you're going to get. You have a father of a nation, you are of that nation. You got people who hate us today because they found out, dang, you know what, my dad is really an Edomite. Then they come back and say, my dad is really an Edomite. We go, well, that would make you an Edomite. What a hard pill to swallow. God, it's a hard pill, boy. That's a hard one right there. Only thing you can tell a person that finds that out is like, maybe he wasn't, but maybe, I don't know. What the Spirit telling you? I don't know. Maybe he wasn't, sir. No, I'm pretty much sure he was. You better rely on luck. There's no such thing as luck. You screwed. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you done. You know, at very best, you can go, please don't tell me that, you know, tell me something different. Was he the nation of the Moabites? You might have a shot, but you say Edomite, the whole house got to go. Play on.
African-American girl, she said, "You're the first non-black guy that I date." And I found that very interesting because I consider myself black.
Puerto Rican friends who look white say things to me like, "Oh, you'd be interested in that because that's a black thing."
My mother is Puerto Rican. She is very light-skinned. My grandmother, my mother's mother, she made a comment to me kind of in passing, and she said, "Oh, that's because of your black father." When I told this to my mother, she began to cry. And she said, "Well, you know, not everyone is happy that I am with your father because he is dark-skinned."
Just a precious
I remember a fellow student who told me there are not that many black people in this class, and there were a lot of us who were Latino, and I felt I was taken aback by that because I said, "Well, we're black too," and he said, "Not really. You look black, but you're not really black."
My father
he got two sides of he can hit on both ends.
Too difficult to manage.
Every day I see my Afro-Latino students struggling with whether or not they should embrace their black side or whether or not they should embrace their Latino side.
Shut him down, Kane, because what they don't know is that they're the same nation. Problem solved. Problem solved. They just don't understand that, okay? A lot of people don't understand that, but then that's what because they're not in the Bible, all right? Give me the other clip. Told you this was so clip-driven. Let me see what you got. The monitor. Oh, yeah. Give me that.
Behind these gates at Rabat Central Bus Station, a young migrant from Senegal was knifed to death on August 12. He lived in this poor neighborhood of the Moroccan capital. Here, like in many other Moroccan cities and towns, migrants hailing from sub-Saharan Africa face daily acts of violence.
I went out to buy something, so I saw three guys, three Moroccans, and they attacked me with a knife. They took my phone and some of my money.
Kingsley told us he felt lucky as he only suffered superficial knife wounds, but he said racism was rampant.
We are facing a lot of
it's in Morocco.
Racism here in Morocco. They don't like we blacks. We don't have right for many things. You can't sit, you can't talk to a woman. You cannot talk to a woman.
Pause. It's folks in the comment boards, what do you pick up right here? What do y'all pick up? What did you pick up just by this little short couple seconds here of what he's talking? Yeah, we know it's racist. He's saying it's racist and everything. This is in Morocco. This man is speaking English. This man is speaking English. You don't think the white man's conquered all this stuff? This man is speaking English over there. He's able to communicate. It's racist. How you know that word racist? It's a problem. Play him.
It's not allowed here in Morocco. They don't give out job to black people. Even if you have the qualification, even you are capable of doing the job, they can't give the job to you because you're a black man here in Morocco.
His outrage over constant discrimination is shared by many other migrants.
They call us monkeys when we were all equals. We have the same red blood flowing in our veins.
That's his problem. Self-hate. We all equal. They call us monkeys when we're all equal. You're not equal. That's what we're trying to tell you. You are not equal to them. The Lord said you're a holy people. You're not equal to people on the earth. Just prove it, Rob. Deuteronomy 7:6. Come back to us. Get him out of here. That's the problem. Self-hate. You look at Richard Spencer, he going to tell you he's not equal to you. Richard Spencer going to tell you, you know what, y'all are beneath us. That's why we had you working as slaves. We helped you. That's what he says.
But let's hear what the Lord says.
Let's see what God says.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Come on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So you're not equal, man. Thus saith the Lord God. You're above, but you're not acting like you are above all people. That's the problem. You're not acting like it. You want to hold hands and hug. It's the same scenario of being in the truth or knowing that you're an Israelite. You're not, if you know that you're an Israelite, means absolutely nothing if you ain't conducting yourself like the royal people with integrity. They show you that in the similitudes of movies all day. They had the movie The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They showed you all the other creatures in that little fantasy kingdom. When you see them, nothing compared to that lion that stepped up. He was majestic. You can tell down that's royalty. They made him like, it show you it's a mentality. It's the way that you conduct yourself. It's to have integrity. You can't not have that and call yourself the holy people. How does that work? Oh, I'm going to hug everybody. No. That's the problem with these folks now. That's a problem with Christianity. If we know and look at you and say, no, he's majestic. Whoa. She is royal. Royalty. The whole mind state change. The whole spirit change when you look at a person like that. But if you're in the truth or call yourself in the truth and you're not looking at people like that, it causes you to have less patience, more hatred, envy. You have a lot of things wrong. But when you look at a person like, no, that's royalty. I can see past the outward facade and see past it. I can see inwardly and go, oh, no, that's royalty. That's what really counts. That's how you get rid of self-hate. Read it again for him.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Come on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Come on.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
Come on.
But because the Lord loved you.
But because the Lord loved you. This is why you have the greatest confirmation known to man. Slavery, oppression, centuries, decade, millennia, after millennia. Consistent, the Lord putting pressure on us to show us you're not like everyone else. You're the holy people. Wake up. Stop always wanting to hold hands. Come out of her, my people. Be not partakers of her sins. Isaiah 60. Verse 1. We have a lot of other clips, but looks like we're running out of time. Come on.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 1.
Come on.
Arise.
What?
Arise.
The Bible says arise. Read.
Shine.
Shine. Arise. Shine. Read.
For the light is come.
For the light is come. You've been illuminated. You know something that all the rest of the world don't know. Read.
And the glory.
And what?
And the glory.
Come on.
Of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Is risen upon thee. To let you know that he loved you. The glory is risen upon thee. Read.
Verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
You better keep the light. The darkness is going to cover the earth. Don't you see darkness is covering the earth? There's nothing good out here. Read.
And the gross darkness.
And gross darkness. Come on.
The people.
The people are in disarray. They're confused. They don't know who they are. They worried so much about their oppressor. Read.
But the Lord.
But what?
But the Lord.
Come on.
Shall arise upon thee.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee. Read.
And his glory.
And what?
And his glory.
Come on.
Shall be seen upon thee.
Meaning you're going to understand these scriptures and how you need to return back to keeping the commandments in Christ. That's the glory that should rise upon you. Not how you follow the so-called white man or the other nations. Follow Christ in the keeping of the commandments as the Israelites, the holy people. And that's how you're going to beat hating yourself, period. The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We're going to follow the Most High rather than man any day. We don't care if you have Stockholm syndrome. We don't care if you want to hold hands with everybody else. We're not holding hands no more. What we're saying is we're returning back and we're preferring our people to come back in spirit and in truth, to love each other and to come out of self-hate. How about that? All right? We're going to follow that rather than man any day. All praises to the Most High in Christ.
All praises.
All right, you folks that are online, keep in mind you can always come online maybe within 15 or 20 minutes of what the class says so that you can send up the prayers. We do send up prayers to the Most High for the downfall of our enemies. Exactly. We send up prayers week in and week out, day after day. All right, we're praying for the peace of Israel.
All praises.
All right, which are you so-called blacks and Hispanics. With that, y'all stay strong. Make sure you continue to send up the prayers. Send your arms in, everything, because we're trying to go to our people and wake our people up according to the marvelous truth of the holy gospel. How about that? All right. With that, we're going to say shalom.